Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human Podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. Here we are, April 7th, a week into the month. How are you doing today? This reflection is titled, You Have to Seek It Out. And it was inspired once again by a quote from J.R.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings. But not Return of the King this time. No, today's comes from The Fellowship of the Ring, which I think is my favorite in the series. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard. Definitely my favorite movie of the Peter Jackson trilogy. And as this is the second reflection inspired by Tolkien, I won't go too much into the intro, but if you want to hear a bit more about him and just how much I love his writing and these books, head back to March 18th's episode titled Blurry Vision. So Fellowship of the Ring is the first book in The Lord of the Rings, followed by The Two Towers, and then The Return of the King. If you have not read them, please do. They are phenomenal. Okay, here's the quote. And this is Bilbo speaking to Gandalf. I want to see mountains again, Gandalf, mountains. And then find somewhere where I can rest, in peace and quiet, without a lot of relatives prying around and a string of confounded visitors hanging on the bell. I might find somewhere where I can finish my book. I have thought of a nice ending for it. And he lived happily ever after, to the end of his days. And doesn't that sound nice? Okay, here's my reflection. There is an important difference between loneliness and solitude. One can be devastating for your mental health, your physical health, and just your overall well-being, while the other can do wonders for your mental health, your physical health, and just your overall well-being. You can be lonely in a city of millions of people, and you can find happiness in solitude alone in the wilderness of the mountains, miles away from another soul and civilization. And while most of us don't have the luxury of just up and leaving our lives for a trip to the mountains on a whim to find that solitude, we can seek it out in other places, and almost always in nature. It might not always be easy to find, though. Even in parks or courtyards, your front yard or backyard, there's a good chance others may be there looking for the same thing. You may find strangers or neighbors or relatives or friends, and this is all good and beautiful for many other reasons. But it is not the solitude you seek. So you must be calculating. You must actively seek your solitude and its added blissful benefits of distraction-free thought, the chance to step away from the herd and the hustle and bustle of the capitalistic rat race. You might have to wake up early, or go to bed late. You might have to forego lunch with colleagues or an outing with friends on the weekend. But consider it not as being rude to others, but as being kind to yourself. Spend time with nature and yourself. Have a conversation with the wind and the trees and your soul. Close your eyes and just breathe, leaving everything else behind, if only for a short while. Your responsibilities will be waiting for you upon returning. You can be sure of that. But for now, sit in the peace and quiet and think of a nice ending for your book. And there ends today's reflection. And I hope you already have a place you can find solitude. If not in nature, maybe a little spot in your home. It really is so important and good for us to shut out the noise and to slow down and stop and just kind of turn our brains off for a little while. And it doesn't have to be long, like a couple of minutes can make a difference. And please for the love of all that is Lord of the Rings, leave your phone whenever you do this if you want the true benefits of solitude. Because everything these days is vying for your attention and time. It really is. The companies see this. It's more valuable than money to them. And while you do have your obligations to others, your loved ones, your family, your friends, your job, you also have an obligation to yourself, to take care of yourself, and to rest and think and speak with yourself. And you will get much from it. Okay, here's your reflection question. Am I getting enough solitude? Where in nature can I find it? And what time? I try and give myself some in the mornings before I start writing at my desk or doing everyday human stuff by having my coffee and sitting in my chair and reading. Right now I'm reading daily quotes from Henry David Thoreau, which is fantastic. And I think we get to him tomorrow, actually. Yeah, April 8th. And then also if I have time during the day to go in the backyard and look at the creek, or even when I'm taking the compost bin out behind the shed to the compost, it's quiet back there and it is nature. And there's a lot to see. And I like to just kind of stand there and think. And I do try to leave my phone inside while I'm doing this. And maybe I'm out there for like 5 minutes. But it is nice. Okay, and that's it for today, April 7th. I'll be back tomorrow, April 8th, with another reflection. Have a good one and take care.